My name is Tom, and I specialize in economics here at the State Department. I was in my first tour as a consular officer at the Consulate General in Guangzhou, China, and that was the day after NATO forces accidentally bombed the Chinese embassy in Yugoslavia. And so there were, of course, when the news came out, it incensed a lot of Chinese citizens, and it created so much anger that the streets filled with Chinese, and they went to protest at all of our missions throughout China. And so the day after, May 8th, is when the protests really started happening, and we drew down the consulate to a handful of people. And so I was one of those people who stayed behind, and one of my jobs was to make sure that some of the sensitive materials and sensitive items that were in the consulate were properly secured and in some cases destroyed. And it really was a stressful but exciting time to be there, because then it really hit home what you were doing for the United States and what your role was and what your mission was overseas. I've always wanted to join the Foreign Service because it provides, obviously you work overseas, and I think living and working overseas is just exciting and very challenging because you live in a different environment. You're away from the norms and the values that you're most accustomed to, and you learn to try and adapt to the environment that you're in while retaining who you are as a core. And being overseas, advocating for the United States, articulating United States policy and representing America is something that, for me, I've always wanted to do. And so the great thing about the Foreign Service and the Department of State is that, in a sense, it's almost you learn from every job and you build upon that experience and knowledge so that in the end, you would have the skills, the knowledge, and the ability to run an embassy, to be an ambassador, to be an integral part of developing and implementing foreign policy at the highest level.